Namo Amida Butsu, Om Mani Padme Hum, and welcome. Hey everyone, thank you so much for dropping by. I feel inspired today to talk a little bit about right view. But before I do that, just a quick reminder, I am not enlightened, not that any of y'all were thinking that, but and I am not a formal lineaged Buddhist teacher. I'm just someone who's been around the block, has a deep passion for spirituality, and Buddhism is one of the topics I feel a lot of passion for. So please take everything I say with a grain of salt. I'm just sharing my best understanding, hoping that it'll be helpful. So the deeper I go into Buddhism, the more I'm convinced that right view is just, I don't even have words, that right view is just the absolute foundation. And I'm going to be talking today primarily from the Pali Canon. So you could say the Theravada school, but more just the Pali Canon. And there's even some lines in the Pali Sutras where the Buddha just says that right view is the absolute beginning of the path. And it kind of makes sense. You know, it's very sad to me that a lot of people start teaching Buddhism starting with meditation, oftentimes with Vipassana. That was my experience. And where my understanding, that's really not what the Buddha taught. And it actually can do quite a bit of harm. It really did for me. I have a lot of trauma, and Vipassana is like the absolute, an extensive Vipassana. I went on this program where we did like 40 minutes of Vipassana every day. Absolute wrong practice for a beginner, and absolute wrong practice for someone with extensive trauma. But that aside, as I go deeper into the Pali Canon, it just talks over and over about how important correct or wise view is, which is considered the first of the Eightfold Path. And so I've posted a link to a very precious to me anyway, website, and it talks about right view. And it's very interesting. I was aware of this, but I'd never seen it put in so much detail, that the Buddha actually taught that there's before you even enter onto the Eightfold Path, there's some prerequisites. Meaning, before you enter onto the Eightfold Path to begin the process of whether you say Buddhahood, attaining Buddhahood, or nirvana, or bringing dukkha, suffering, pain to an end, there are some prerequisites, which I had no idea about. Most people don't talk about this, but this website goes into it into great detail, and very specifically that before you get into the right view of the Eightfold Path, that you get into what's called mundane right view. And let's see, I'm pulling it up so I can take a look at it. Specifically, I'm referencing the section where it says 10 types of Mika Dithi, wrong views. Now, these are, again, considered the mundane wrong views that need to be corrected before one even begins the Eightfold Path. Utterly fascinating to me. Let's see. Let's see if there's anything else I want to say about this. Well, the reason, hold on, I'm flipping between pages. Thank you. You know, I don't think I'm going to say much else. I just want to draw people's attention to this website and these 10 mundane wrong views, and that these need to be corrected first. And it's very sad to me that many Buddhists still hold these 10 mundane wrong views, and according to the teaching of the Pali Canon, then wouldn't even be on the Noble Eightfold Path, because view in the Pali Canon, the Buddha says how your view, which is like fundamental paradigm, understanding of reality, how that drives everything. For example, view drives perception, and perception is like our background thoughts, or, one way I've been thinking about perception lately is it's like stereotypes. For example, I'm visiting my aunt's house and in the Buddha's analysis of the mind, like every time I come here, I'm not actually seeing this house as it is. I mean, I am, but I'm also not. What I'm also seeing is all my memories, associations, feelings about this house, which then cloud me from actually seeing this house as it is. So that's called perception, or samana. Sorry, my Pali is very basic. But the Buddha said that our view is what drives perceptions. So, people talk about stopping the monkey mind. Well, according to the Buddha, the first step to stopping the monkey mind is to have right views, because right views drive perception, and perception drives the monkey mind. And so myself, like I think many other people, have spent all this time trying to quiet the monkey mind, but the monkey mind is just a symptom. What's a symptom of? It's a symptom of all these past perceptions. Well, okay, so then we tried things like the work of Byron Katie and, cognitive therapy, and trying to cleanse or get rid of these perceptions, all this, you could say, mental emotional baggage. And that's obviously a virtuous thing, but according to the Buddha, those things are generated and driven by view. So until view is taken care of, we're going to keep regenerating more and more perceptions, which will keep the monkey mind spinning. So, and before I close, I'm just gonna get you the Pali word for perception so that you can take a look at it on your own. Yes. It's called Sannyana, or Sanna. There's different spellings, but if you look up Buddhism perception, that will give you some food for thought. So thank you so very much for dropping by. Once again, I am not enlightened and not a formal Buddhist teacher, just sharing my understandings and experience, and to a certain extent my explorations. And I hope you found this very helpful. Thank you so much.